Hi, so the first thing that happens when I open up this app is I get a woman talking about another person talking about a man who says, I'm really into this is my type. This woman's my type. However, he starts showing pictures of all these other women that are his type, and it looks nothing like the woman he's with. And the woman that's talking about this video of this man saying all this kind of stuff says one thing that's very powerful. Men are about cost versus benefit. And as she's saying this, I'm thinking, well, if men are hunters, or most men are hunters, then yes, their brain processes information around cost versus benefit. You see, we haven't gotten away from hunter-gatherer. We just haven't. It's just that we do it differently. This is part of belonging. This is part of the reason I developed the needs languages. I started looking at who are the hunters, who are the gatherers, how's that information processed through personality? How does that work with belonging? So if men are about cost versus benefit, why are we as women changing that? Why are you changing that as cost versus benefit? You see, if women don't process that way, we have to understand how men process. And we have to be okay with it. If men see that you're going to provide this benefit, this benefit, this benefit, this benefit, and it's going to be good for them, but not the best because they view the best a certain way due to the narratives that society has made, then what do you think is going to happen? You see, I think a lot of it is we need to change societal narratives. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, this is so important when it comes to dating. Society's narratives. Well, society's narratives say this. If you're pretty and skinny, ooh, and young, you're wanted. Successful, oh, you're wanted. But we don't talk about character. You see, let's look at employer for a second. This is a really, really good example. What are you going to give me as an employee? What are you going to give me as a boss or a company? Me. Instead of us looking how to work together and how can we improve each other's lives? How can we do partnerships? You see, this cost versus benefit thing, if the narratives worked with a cost versus benefit, what do you think would change? How do you think things would change? And that's what I'm talking about. We know you process this way, then why don't we also start changing the narratives to help the narratives go along with the processing? It's some things to look at. We cannot change the way people process information. We're never going to change that. What we can change are the narratives that teach people what are the benefits and what are the costs. And that's just one way men process. So men process belonging in two ways. That's why we call it the needs languages. They meet women in one that's the same and one that's different. And the hunter part, that cost versus benefit, is different than most women. That's why women are gatherers. And that's why sometimes they get frustrated with that piece. And this also has to do with the manifestation because we all manifest a certain way based on this process, the way we do things. I mean, it's just fascinating. And if you'd like to learn more, you can always stop by the needs languages. You can always look at my first TED Talk. That kind of teaches you a couple of things. I mean, it's just really super basic. But this is really helpful. So on that note, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.